Hey everybody, Brad Stevens here, founder and CEO of Outsource Access with what I'm calling Leaders in Franchise Scaling series here. Sound good to you?
Sounds great.
You'll learn here, that's what Ford here is all about, Ford Saeks, and what we do here at Outsource Access. I want to talk to Ford about his journey and his path, but it's all about helping businesses redefine how they scale, and the franchise industry is always innovating and trying to evaluate their next path, and AI is something they're trying to embrace. Ford's an authority and expert on that. So give a little background real quick on yourself, Ford, and we'll talk about what authority in the year 2 books that you've written, and also the keynotes that you do for franchise brand conferences, and also for the keynotes here.
Well, thank you for giving me that glowing introduction. You guys can just Google my name will be in the show notes, but really what people bring me in for is to help them find, attract, and keep their ideal customers, right? And
who wants to do that?
Well, in franchising, the challenge you have right now is the cost to acquire a lead has gone up.
Yeah.
No longer can you rely on Google to send you traffic.
Sure.
Because there's Google AI overviews, there's rich snippets, and then of course you want your content to show up in large language models to send you traffic. So the traffic's an issue, staffing's an issue, obviously outsourcing is an issue. That's why, hey, look, I got to say this, and we didn't plan this ahead of time, but if you're even considering leveraging the power of outsourcing, because you can't fog a mirror, right? Everybody does this, but this is the real company, so make sure you check them out because I highly recommend it. But back to your thing on
I appreciate
leadership.
it.
No, I just want you, that's a good thing.
Well, we're all about passion scaling small to medium business at the
Yeah.
end of the day, right? Whatever the paths are, whatever tools or resources, I'm an advocate. I've helped 3 other people launch outsourcing companies. I'm a believer in the approach. But it's about the mindset and strategy. So kind of back to philosophy.
Yeah.
Mindset, strategies, and tactics are
Right,
kind of your
exactly.
3 things. So touching on those 3 elements, kind of what
Sure.
are those elements that you touch on?
Well, what I found out and work with brands, both big and small around the globe, that success always comes down to 1 of 3 things. Now, they think they're all unique. Every brand I work with, whether it's from my digital marketing agency or speaking or a high-end consulting or strategy, is I found that it comes down to this gap. And the gap is always mindset, strategies, or tactics, but here's why. If they don't have their mindset dialed in, all the strategies and tactics in the world won't work.
Sure.
Just like franchisees, if they don't have the right mindset, they're not going to follow their systems and execute effectively, right? Then once they have their mindset dialed in, then it comes down to strategies, which if they're in franchising, they should be following their systems. So how do you communicate that and create great franchise relations?
When you say a mindset, and to pause you on
Yeah.
that real quick, what is the number 1 mindset shift that you see that people need to be making to really be successful?
I would say open-minded versus closed-minded. People have a lot of conditioning. They think that, well, I'm going to ask everybody watching or listening to this today. I'm going to ask you, we didn't set this up, right?
Uh-oh.
Okay,
All right.
Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. It works for the big audience. What color are yield signs, first instinct?
Yellow.
Guess what? Anybody who's driving, stay the hell away from this guy. Yield signs are red and white. They've been red and white since 1975. You weren't even
Good
born
strategy,
then.
like it.
So
79, 4 years later.
You're 4 years old. But you've never even seen a yellow yield sign. But you had a belief, here it is, 2026, doing this live broadcast, and you're telling me that yield signs are yellow. So you came into the room with a belief that isn't serving you. So what I would tell everybody listening, and if any of you thought that it was yellow, go Google it.
I'm going to use that technique.
Hit pause, go Google the color of yield signs, and that's English-speaking US and Canada. So again, if you're in another country, doesn't work. But I would say, if you have a belief that isn't serving you, it's time to get some new beliefs. So the mindset piece is the biggest challenge, is making sure they're open-minded, proactive, accountable, and coachable. And if they have that part done, then they can move on to strategy and tactics.
If I can just get my children to be those 4 things, that'd be great.
Yeah, good luck on that. Yeah, that's a whole different podcast.
And particularly when it comes to AI stuff, you can't put your head in the sand, right? I mean, you've got to be willing to embrace it. You can't, this is going to blow over, what have you. You got to be willing to have the mindset to embrace and innovate.
Well, the problem you have with AI, and he said, hey, he's a leading authority on AI. Well, let me just clarify this. Everybody with a laptop is now an AI expert.
Yeah.
Everybody who can fog a mirror says, I'm an AI expert. But here's what I've learned. The more I know about AI, the more I know I don't know. So I want to lay it out simple for everybody listening or watching. Look, AI is not going anywhere. You're not going to put the genie back in the bottle. So what I help organizations and businesses and brands do is understand where to use AI and how to keep the human in the loop. So it's a blended mind. You're using your mind, the AI mind, and then the blended mind. So, people ask me, is AI going to replace people? And I say, no, AI is going to replace people not using AI. So it's really about the approach.
Yeah, it's a million different techniques, a billion different platforms that are out there. but it's just understanding it, embracing it, right, and learning the techniques as far as prompting is kind of where a lot of it starts. But yeah, there's no definitive authority per se, but it's about getting in the game and seeing where you're going to integrate it and how you're going to make it effective. So,
all right, and I'm going to jump
right?
in on him. He's talking about keynotes, but let me give you this.
Yeah.
All right, here's 4 things everybody can do right now. Because I know you're using ChatGPT and Copilot and Perplexity and Gemini and Claude and whatever else you're using.
Yeah.
Here's 4 things. Number 1, any prompt, any AI. Set your custom defaults. Make sure you set your privacy settings so you're not using your data to train the AI model. So be private.
Yep.
Number 2, here's a model. Any prompt, give it the context. Who, what, when, where, and why. Like, what are we doing? Who are you? What are the expectations and outcome? Like, what do you want it to do? Number 3, have a conversation. The biggest mistake people use in AI is they just say, I want a 900-word blog post, or I want you to look at this. They're not having a narrative, like we're having a conversation back and forth. So one of the things I do on the narrative side is say, whenever I'm doing a prompt, context, expectations, and then I say, interview me or ask me detailed and comprehensive questions to make sure you understand before you start.
Yeah.
And then the AI actually gets better results. And then the last part of the prompt is you got to keep the human in the loop. Too many people either are confused by AI and they're sitting on the sidelines, or Brad, you've got people on your team, I'm sure, that have used it, and then they just go full blown and they become dangerously overconfident that they think they understand AI. And then they can create a lot of brand damage.
Now, it can be reckless, right, if you do go too far with the process.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you can highly encourage, and also depending on what platforms you're using, right? It's different each one, but like in ChatGPT, it's like creating projects, right? And load files in. Like I've got a personal one. It's Brad's Advisory Coach, and I've loaded everything imaginable, my entire life story, every book that I've written, all my disc profiles and so forth, and then be able to use it as an ongoing kind of reference and engagement and interact on it. But it can be a yes man or a yes woman sometimes, right?
Yeah,
you kind of push back on it, right? Because it'll always kind of tell you what you want to hear, but hey, be devil's advocate and tell me what I don't want to hear, right? And that's pretty fascinating prompt too.
Yeah, because you can, basically AI is a toaster on autocomplete. It simulates human behavior and it can trick you, but it also will hallucinate and make mistakes. And what he's saying about creating a custom GPT, if you're using ChatGPT, in Gemini it's a gem, and in Copilot it's called an agent, in Perplexity it's called spaces, in Claude it's called projects. They all have the ability to upload your data. So obviously he's got my books here, I'm an author, I've uploaded all my books, and then if I go to write an article, or a podcast, so like here's an example. I have a custom GPT for Fortify. Wednesdays 11 a.m. Central, I'm live. You've been a guest on my show. I've been a guest on your show. And what I did is, when I didn't know Brad, I said, here's my next guest. It researched him. It wrote the show hook based on his expertise, his LinkedIn profile, Wikipedia, Substack, Reddit, ChatGPT, Google, YouTube, TED Talks. It brings all that data in. So here's the biggest thing. I know we're talking fast. You can slow this down, watch it over again. But what I would say is, you gotta, training isn't something you did, it's something you do. Yeah. You have to continually listen to this podcast, subscribe, share this episode with your colleagues and friends, because it's not knowing is where they cause the biggest problem. It's they think they know, like the color of yield signs, which are what color now?
Red and white.
Black.
Red and white.
Red and white.
I'll get it, I'm slow.
Still stay the hell away from him if he's driving, that's all I gotta say.
Well, thanks. That's a great kind of primer and insight around it, right? I mean, this whole AI landscape is bonkers, and literally every trade show booth over here, everybody literally if it wasn't there, there's like a Sharpie, like AI, right? Because everybody feels like they need to be in that game.
Yeah.
But just take a moment to really take a deep breath, understand it, and constantly, iteratively learn through the whole process. And just be creative, right? And continue playing with it, because the more you play with it and you kind of test around with it, you'll find new innovative ways to go. They had these thought leadership roundtables, right? And they gave us this entire set of PDFs with 150 different topics. You had to choose one to go to. So I went to my custom GPT that knows me, right, or actually my project,
right,
and I uploaded it and said, hey, of all these 180 tables, which of the 4 I should go to that are best fit for me? And immediately kind of gave me an output. So it's these little life hacks.
It helps you, life hack, it's a time saver, it compresses time and gives you more time to build the personal relationships.
Yeah. So hope you all enjoy it. And one last one I'll leave you with. You haven't tried NotebookLM, right? So I was actually just at a thought leadership roundtable. And a lot of what franchisees or franchisors are having to do is onboard their franchisees with training, tons of content they share to them to get them onboarded and trained. I say, go to NotebookLM, upload the content, and then turn it into a 2-person podcast, right? And then makes a way that they can interact and engage in the content.
Yeah, absolutely. NotebookLM, and I would say if you haven't tried Perplexity.ai, I'm surprised that people haven't used that. It's the most well-rounded. So when I'm starting to research, I go to Perplexity.ai. If I want to consume content, I go to NotebookLM. If I want to use my workhorse, I use ChatGPT. And if I want to write content that's not AI detectable, I use Claude. Yep. There you go. We just did a masterclass.
Well, how's everybody learn more about you, Ford? Best place to go to check out your podcast and everything?
Sure. Well, they can go to ProfitRichResults.com, ProfitRichResults.com, or just Google my name. And you can easily find out who I am online. And then you'll be able to see, yeah, I'm the real deal. I've actually been helping brands grow.
And there's a free course they can subscribe to on the website, right?
Yes, there is. It's ProfitRichResults.com / this is real difficult, AI-training. So my website / AI-training, and it's a free masterclass. There's nothing to buy. I update it every month, and there's also some bonuses on how to create your website to be AI optimized, because that's the problem. People go to their websites, and I don't know, we could do a hot seat with you.
Yeah.
Maybe you blocked the AI bots from reading your site, so they know who your company is, but then they have to be able to read all your content.
Yeah. That's a whole new way of how to get loaded in the LLMs from an SEO standpoint with the website. So check it out there. Learn more about us at Outsource Access and our franchise support system that we offer for franchisors and our franchise virtual assistance program for franchisees. Go to outsourceaccess.com, and on there you can check out, you can opt in, and we have over 700 tasks that we've done across the years, 5 million hours of work that we'll send to you. And our 2-question exercise that we do, super simple to identify the constraint points that you're kind of navigating. So we'll publish this on multiple channels and on my podcast, How Outsourcing and AI Works for SMBs. So thanks for the time, Ford. Appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
Hopefully they absorbed a little bit of our 4,000 words per second. We're both a little hyped up here.
So slow it down. We've had some caffeine. Let it go. We're
exactly.
Vegas.
Back at it. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye, guys.